Mom has on her shirt. I have on mine. Hello adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. If you can see this guy behind me, it's about to be a weird, wild day, and we're going to be doing something very cool as we go through a dinosaur encounter in Bridgeport, Texas. Buckle up, it's about to be kind of scary. Okay, we have officially made it to the Endeavor Bridgeport Park, and we are going to pay the ladies so we can go in and see the dinosaurs.
You can follow it just like this. You can do it backwards however you want to do it, and you can do it as many times as you want.
Okay. They gave us a map, and they said that we can go through it as many times as we want to. They also gave us a book, and apparently it tells us how to pronounce each one of the dinosaurs. But we had our very first snafu of the day, where I decided that I needed to put my actual birthday as opposed to the day of present day. Oops. Also, we found our very first dinosaur. It's right over here. Now they are run by generators because they're animatronics, so it's a little loud, but oh my God. These are so incredible. You can get out, you're just not supposed to like pull on them or anything. This is cool, but there's another one right over here. It appears I stepped in some mud. Was it worth it though? Absolutely. Okay, this next one that we're stopping off at was originally 8 feet tall, 17 feet long, and 2.2 tons. It's called the Uoplocephalus, and it was an herbivore with a bony armor and a heavy club-like tail. This is awesome. This book right here, it tells all about each and every one of the dinosaurs, and so as you're going around, you can learn how to say their names and then also some stats about them. But now it's time to go see this guy. Let's get it. You ready for this one? This one is awesome. He has an armor with spikes on it. He's kind of an orangish color, and we know dinosaurs don't necessarily always align with the colors because we don't know what color they actually were, so they kind of guess on me. But I love the vibrance of this one. I would really love to know who created all these dinosaurs. I'm gonna have to look into this because this is epic. I've been moving around. Most of these have like generators and they're kind of loud. They also have piped in sound. This one does not, and I'm not sure if it's just not working or if it's just turned off temporarily, but I can actually talk to you guys out here. This is incredible. These things are huge, and you get kind of like a context of the size of them by standing next to them, but also how their skin might have looked and the texture. But again, we don't know what color they actually were, so this is a guesstimate. But this one almost looks like he has a beak kind of in the front, and they've proven that dinosaurs time and time again actually somewhat resembled a lot of birds, and they found that more of them than not had some form of these bony, like almost beak structures, and or they had feathers. And we don't normally hear about those because guess what? They've been extinct for a long time, so proving that theory is hard. But they have determined that many dinosaurs are actually closely related to a chicken, which is weird. Weird things that you find out going to a bunch of dinosaur stuff. This is cool though. Let's go check it out. Next up, we have the Triceratops, and the Triceratops is an herbivore that lived around 68 to 66 million years ago in North America. So we have these right here, and their face is what actually gives them their name because they have horns. So they have 3 specific horns on their face, and apparently they're about the size of a modern day African elephant. 6 feet tall, 26 to 30 feet. That's a huge elephant. Let's see just how big this dino is. 5'7" with the floof 5'9". Much taller, really neat. Even the toe detail with little armored, it reminds me kind of an armadillo in how that they have these bands of armor. We have a lot of these to go, and there's one right up here, and guess what? This guy is growling. Rawr, rawr. I'm a real dinosaur. Rawr. This next one, as we came down into the quarry area, is pretty cool. This is a tiny guy. We were just talking about how they're related to chickens. This actually was only about 1 foot tall, 3 feet long, and 12 pounds, and they equate it to about the size of a chicken. And this one is definitely interesting because it has a lot of unique features, we'll say. Now on the map here, it shows that these were mostly found in Europe, but this is the Compsognathus. Compsognathus. And oh no, it looks like somebody has met their demise as a result of the Compsognathus. This guy right here. Yep. Oh no, oh no. These are like Tyson. They are, they're about Tyson's size. So maybe Tyson's a dinosaur. Parasaurolophus, and these would get to be 16 feet tall and 30 feet long and 7,000 pounds. They were an herbivore and they have a duckbill shaped head. They lived about 80 million years ago in North America, and their name means near crested lizard. And it's theorized that the crest was used for identification, communication, and display. And this is kind of a neat one right here because this one is very different. Of course, they were found in the United States, primarily like what looks like in the Colorado and Utah region. Next up, we are going to go see the Chasmosaurus, which is actually from partially in the United States. These things were 7 feet tall, 15 feet long, and over 2 tons. And they were also herbivores. They look kind of like the Triceratops a little bit, and they lived 66 million years ago. And their name means opening lizard, referring to large opening in its frill, which I'm assuming that this part is the frill. So we're about to find out. That was cool, but we have one more in this section and it's going to be really neat. Cars, we can find some more dinosaurs. This is about to be more fun because I see one right up the hill that looks huge. Okay, next up we have this one, which the name of it is a little bit strange. It's the Suchomimus. It's 12 feet tall, 40 feet long, and 12,000 pounds. Now this one was mostly found in the Niger area of North Africa, and it means crocodile mimic. Apparently it is in fact a crocodile-like animal though. This next one definitely resembles another bird and in fact is known as the bird mimic. This one is the Ornithorhynchus. This is interesting. 7 feet tall, 12 to 15 feet long, 300 to 370 pounds. So this is not much larger than a human. And whenever we're looking at this one in the illustration, it shows this one might have actually had feathers. Now in the capture that they have here, he does not. However, this is interesting. This was found in like the Utah area, it looks like. You're going to quickly understand why I say it's interesting because even without feathers, it definitely looks like it has a duck bill. Like a very distinct, pronounced duck bill. Like if this were smaller, I would be like quack, quack, quack. It looks that similar in the face to a duck. We just arrived at one of the bigger guys here. And he seems to be hungry for some lunch, so we're going to try not to become his lunch, but let's find out who he is first. He happens to be the Giganotosaurus, so we're going to call him the Giganotosaurus. I think that's wrong, but Giganotosaurus? This is helpful, but it's also a little bit weird because you would think this is definitely a Giganotosaurus. But he lived approximately 100 to 93 million years ago in Argentina, and it means giant southern lizard. He was 18 feet tall and 43 feet long and weighed 9 tons. He was actually taller and longer than the T-Rex, but not quite as heavy. But he does have those tiny little T-Rex-like arms. Of course, I'm gonna hope that he's not upset by me saying that because he's huge, huge. With sheer size, remind me not to run into that guy because that is terrifying. He's huge. But just down the hill here we have a Stegosaurus, and the Stegosaurus is one of my favorite dinosaurs because they have this plating on the back of them. So let's learn about a Stegosaurus and we'll go find him. The Stegosaurus is one of the most recognizable kinds of dinosaurs, and a full-grown Stegosaurus could be 30 feet long and 14 feet tall. They had spikes on their limbs and also on their backs and also their tail. And they lived in several different locations and have been found across parts of the United States as well as Europe. So that was pretty cool too. but there's more. There's like over 20 of these out here, so that's been really fun just finding each one. But let's learn a little bit more about the next one. And now this next one is also armored looking, and it is the Edmontonia. It's 6 feet tall, 22 feet long, and 6,500 pounds, and it lived approximately 84 to 66 million years ago in North America. And its name comes from Edmonton, a city in Canada where it was first actually discovered. It's bulky, it's broad, and it's like a tank of the dinosaurs. This next one is really wild, and whenever you see it, you'll understand. This is the Utah Raptor, and it's named after where it was originally found, Utah. It's 6 feet tall, 23 feet long, so it's the average size of a regular man, but it's 1,000 pounds. Next up by far is one of the most recognizable guys out here. This is the Brachiosaurus. They're 40 to 50 feet tall. They have that long neck. It's 85 feet long, total 25 tons, and they are a giant herbivore who lived 160 million years ago. Now, their name means arm lizard because their forearms were longer than their hind legs, and they towered over most of the other dinosaurs. This was found right here in the United States and has been found a lot, specifically in the western portions of the United States. Now, we have seen a Brachiosaurus before, we have seen a Brontosaurus before. They are very different creatures. However, they are really, really cool. And in this particular overlook area out here at the OHV park, you can see everything for miles and miles. So this is a perfect place for one of these guys. For reference, I don't even come up to the top of his shoulder. He's huge. He's huge, and his head is way up there. I'd have to stand on top of my own shoulders like 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 times to get there. Maybe not 7, but if he was full size, I would have to do maybe 7. We found a T-Rex. This is a Tyrannosaurus, and this is a photo op. They have a couple of different photo ops in the park. This guy's cool. I found 2 more dinosaurs. Oh no! T-Rex is one of the biggest dinosaurs and one of the biggest predators, and he was really scary. But this one is quite small. He has no legs. He's on this platform so you can take pictures, but at the same time, very, very intimidating. Now, he doesn't move, he doesn't growl, he doesn't have twitching eyes, which makes him a little less scary, but it's a good place to get a little photo op. There's a couple of these again. Pretty neat. Now today we've been seeing lots of OHV vehicles kind of going around as we've been here. There's lots of trails out here and you can see them from this vantage point as you look around, which is also pretty neat. This one has a really cool view of like the pit area. Now this entire area I think used to be an old rock crusher area, which is why we have all of these different like pits and things like that. So this is really neat to be able to kind of explore in these more rugged areas and find dinosaurs. We are about to look at one of the more commonly known dinosaurs in the United States, the Allosaurus, and it was powerful and carnivorous. It was considered to be a theropod that lived in North America 155 million years ago, and its name means different lizard because its bones were hourglass shaped and had hollow spaces in between them. Now it'd be 16 feet tall, 40 feet in length, and approximately 4,600 pounds. Now this next one has a very special place because it is rumored that they actually based the raptor at Jurassic Park off of this guy. He was only 3 feet tall and 11 feet long, weighing approximately 130 to 160 pounds. This is the Dino, and this was a carnivorous theropod that lived 120 to 101 million years ago, and his name meant the terrible claw. They have found these all through the United States, mostly on the western side, and oh my goodness, this guy is quite different. Next one is the Dimetrodon, and he actually has a large sail on his back. He was 6 feet tall and 6 to 15 feet long, and this one lived all over North America and then also in Europe, and his name means to measure teeth. Now this next one here is very similar in size to the T-Rex. This is the Acrocanthosaurus, and it was a native of America, and you can see right kind of where it was located. This was one of the largest predators, reaching nearly 40 feet in length, and they say that after being able to learn about these, they were able to distinguish that its brain structure indicated that it had a highly developed sense of smell, and then also it had some high spines on its back and legs that you can see. So I'm pretty interested in this one because I don't think I've seen this one before, and it's from right here in the US. This guy's huge, and he's very brightly painted. He has little tiny arms, but they're different than the T-Rex arms. That scene in Jurassic Park where the Triceratops is down, well, they kind of have recreated that just behind these cones. Now, again, you're not supposed to climb on these, and there's only one that you can take a photo up with right next to it, and that's that T-Rex that we found on top of the hill. However, this is cool. The T-Rex is one of the most widely known dinosaurs. The Tyrannosaurus Rex could be 13 feet tall, 43 feet in length, and weigh 9 tons. And its name comes from a Latin word, which means the tyrant lizard king. Now, this bad boy right here could eat up to 500 pounds in a single bite. That is intimidating. Just wrapped up going around the park and the drive-thru and seeing all the dinosaurs. So of course we came into the visitor center here, the little store, to see if there's anything we need. There's some cool stuff in here. I'll show you around and then we'll wrap this up. Guys, that's going to do it for us here at the Endeavor Park. I have had such a good time sharing this with you guys. I hope you enjoyed coming along, and I'm going to get out of here because this guy seems hungry, and we now know he can eat 500 pounds in a single bite. I won't go. Bye!